The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is presented by Rebel Girls. Fans have been lined up for hours tonight waiting for the gates to open here at the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. A record-setting crowd expected tonight as it's time for game number 3 between the Bandits and the Volts. Taking a look at the latest standings late in the regular season, the Bandits have already clinched a spot in the championship as they will face the Talons next weekend in Tuscaloosa. Alongside Amanda Scarborough, I'm Alex Loeb. And Amanda, for the Bandits, offense has been the name of the game not only in this series but all season long, and that has propelled them to the championship.
It has been a consistent theme for them that this is going to be a team that scores a lot of runs in a lot of different ways. We saw it in the first half of the season, and then we had that 2-week break, and their offense still showed up even after the 2-week break. And boy, have they shown up here to Texas to play in Round Rock. In the first 2 games of this series, they have hit 5 home runs. They hit 2 in game 1. In fact, Danielle Gibson Whorton and Bubba Nickles-Ca went back-to-back in game 1, and that was a tight one because they ended up winning that game by 1 run. That was the third time all season that the Bandits had gone back-to-back. And then in game 2, they actually hit 3 home runs. M Zerkle in this series has hit 2, and Wallace has also gotten in on the action. So this Bandits team not only lead the league in home runs, but also in stolen bases, and they have been the top offense in the league really the entire season in terms of runs per game, batting average, home runs, as we mentioned. And look at all those stolen bases, too. This is a team that does not just rely on their power.
Just phenomenal numbers. That speed, that power of the Bandits offense will be going up against the rookie for the Volts, Sam Landry.
Sam Landry is definitely a fan favorite and going to have to find a way to shut down this hot offense. We'll see her in the bottom half of the inning, but Sam Landry, a rookie fresh off of her season from Oklahoma and the top pick in the USL College Draft, will get the start today for the Volts.
It does have the second lowest opponent batting average on the team so far this season. Meanwhile, as for the starting lineup for the Volts offense, Sarah Briggs coming off a nice performance last night, 3 for 4 in game number 2 of the series, and has a hit in 5 of her last 6 games. So here we go. It'll be game number 3 between the Volts and the Bandits, and what should be, Amanda, an absolutely electric atmosphere here at Dell Diamond. I mean, we got word fans were here 5 hours ahead of time before we even got to the ballpark. They were ready.
Literally 2 p.m. for a 7 p.m. start time. Fans started to show up. This place is going to be packed. It was packed already on Thursday and Friday, but I think this attendance number should beat those 2.
Here we go. Bandits and Volts. Game number 3 underway. This one lifted to deep left field and just foul off the bat of Amanda Lorenz. Taylor McMillan getting the start in the circle. The lefty was fantastic in relief last night. 2 2/3 shutout ball. But got a little bit of luck there, maybe from a slight breeze carrying that one. Foul McMillan back out there again tonight.
Wondering if they can feel the breeze, because we surely can. But Amanda Lorenz has been aggressive early in the count. Hit a first pitch home run off of Bandits pitcher Emily Kennedy earlier in the series, and now she's going to face another lefty in Taylor McMillan. You mentioned her outing last night. She did pitch in relief and looked really good. In fact, Taylor McMillan has pitched well against the Volts. In all of her outings, she's just given up 1 hit, I think, against them this season.
This one launched foul in the other direction.
Incredible what Amanda Lorenz can do. Hit the ball a long way to the left side, hit the ball a long way to the right side. I mean, one of the fiercest, toughest outs in the league is Amanda Lorenz because of that. Also saw her hit 2 home runs, 1 to right field and 1 to left field earlier in the series.
Second round draft pick in the inaugural AUSL draft, as that one misses from McMillan. 4-time All-American with the Gators during her collegiate career, looking to get this offense going. Slice down the line and hauled in foul territory. I talked to Kat Osterman, the GM of the Volts, earlier today, and she said, yeah, you know, the offense, it has flashed at times, but we just need more consistency. need to do a better job of table setting at the top of the order. We're looking to try and jump out to the early lead here against McMillan and the Bandits.
Yeah, I think you're right about table setting, just trying to find a way to increase that on base percentage and get runners on, especially in the bottom half of the order even. Amanda Lorenz hit 2 home runs earlier in the series, 2 in 1 game, and both of them were solo home runs. So that was in the game when they lost by just 1 run. You can't help but think, man, if somebody just was on for an Amanda Lorenz home run, maybe that game in game 1 would have turned out differently for the Volts.
Corners playing in for Sierra Briggs, former LSU product.
So tough, Alex, in this lefty.
And toughy and tough.
In this lefty on lefty matchup when these lefties have to hit against Taylor McMillan, because she can just really spin it. I feel like she hides the ball a little bit from them in that lefty on lefty matchup with the way that she drives off of the mound and comes out with her arm circles, so it makes all of her spin pitches tough to pick up. She has a ton of movement. Gonna lean on her curveball the most, her rise ball as well, drop and screw on the mix and a changeup.
That one roped foul off the bat of Briggs.
And her rise ball has her highest swing and miss rate at just about 46%.
That's toughy.
That is toughy. Toughy to barrel up.
Now, you've called the majority of the games this year around the league, around the country. You've seen great crowds constantly since the beginning of the year. Saw another one here last night, tremendous crowd. But tonight's numbers, I mean, supposed to be astronomical. And what does that mean as that one dribbles over to short? And anytime, if you're a player, what does that mean playing in that environment, feeding off that? How long does it take to maybe calm down a little bit from that adrenaline you're feeling?
I think as the season has gone on, these players have gotten more and more used to playing in front of these big crowds, although this will set a record for anything that they've played in front of this season. But it just makes you that much more juiced up. I think you get juiced up as a fan, as a coach, as a broadcaster. The trainers and the strength coaches probably feel a little extra juice for a game like this. I mean, this is a big deal for our sport to have a crowd just like this to play in front of.
Danica Coffey at the plate takes strike 1 from McMillan. Coffey reached a couple of times last night. A hit and a walk. That finds its way to right field, so the Volts in business, and flying around second is Briggs. Runners on the corners now here in the top of the first for the Volts.
And the Volts continue to mix up their lineup to figure out these table setters and get people on base, and putting Danica Coffey, another speed type player, more at the top of the lineup in the 3-hole. She has been clutch this season as a rookie, and because Sierra Briggs, who they got in a trade earlier this season, 4 more speed, has speed. She goes first to third on that. And now the Volts have runners on the corners.
Sierra Romero at the plate. Swinging away at the first pitch, shallow right field. Briggs will tag the throw home on target, and they got her. Heck of a throw from Bella Dayton in right to end the top of the first.
Remember, Bella Dayton played college ball at UT just down the road, and so it's a hometown girl with the assist here, and the catch by Jordan Roberts, the tag. Sierra Briggs is fast, and that throw had to be perfect. That is a cannon of an arm by Bella Dayton to keep the Volts from scoring early in this game.
Welcome back to Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. Already an exciting start to the game. The Volts threatened but couldn't cross the plate. So here we go, bottom of the first inning on the way. Bandits offense coming up to bat. Sydney McKinney, the bottom half of the order, coming up with multiple hits in 8 of her last 13 games for the Bandits. That offense will be facing Sam Landry, fresh out of college. coming off a tremendous final season with the Oklahoma Sooners, getting the start tonight for the Volts. Amanda?
Yeah, and when I tell you that she is a fan favorite, I mean it. And that's even in states outside of her home state. She is a fan favorite, but she is from East Texas, so she is from the state of Texas. Played her final season at Oklahoma after playing 3 years close to home at Louisiana. 1-4 on the season. Had some tough luck. Sometimes the offense just has not shown up, even when these pitchers have had great performances. So about a 4.5 ERA, pitched about 30 innings for the Volts this season, and I know that a lot of fans are happy to see her in the circle. Again, people love watching her pitch. Of course, OU fans do, but I think even the Texas fans behind her like watching her pitch too.
Played about 5 hours away from here in Norman, but grew up about 3 hours away from here in the other direction, opposite direction in Mont Belvieu, Texas. First pitch delivered to Morgan Zerkle, the leadoff hitter out of Milton, West Virginia. He's been one of the best hitters in the entire AUSL, leading the league in home runs and second in RBIs.
So explosive of what Sam Landry brings. She's not only going to be able to throw with some good velocity, but she has a great changeup that she'll be able to work in at any count. Trying to figure out this strike zone early. A little bit bigger of a strike zone that we have in the AUSL compared to what you see if you're watching college softball. Usually it's vertically a little bit taller up in the zone. Sometimes get a little bit more off the edges too.
Sent fouls.
Drop ball is a pitch that she'll rely on the most, about 32% of the time. That's a pitch that she had told me when she was at Louisiana she didn't feel very comfortable throwing. Threw it more as a senior at Oklahoma. Also mix in a screw, change, and rise ball. That changeup has a great chase rate to it. And that drop ball, when it is moving like that, is nasty. Morgan Zerkle is tough to strike out. Getting that pitch down and in on the back of her foot. Only 7 strikeouts for Morgan Zerkle, and that is all about pitch location. Deja Mulipola, her catcher, loves it, points right at her and says, yes, keep it there.
That drew some oohs and ahs from the crowd here. Strikeout number 1 on the night from Landry, and follows that up with strike number 1 to Skylar Wallace, the former Florida Gator, who's been on a tear as of late, riding a 7-game hitting streak. 9 RBIs in that span. What's the toughest part about facing this Bandits offense? You mentioned earlier about the speed and the power. What's the most difficult part if you're an opposing pitcher like Landry?
I think it's just their ability to make quick adjustments. Is that you can have a great first inning like we saw in game 1, and then suddenly like we saw in game 1, great first inning, 3 up, 3 down, then all of a sudden in the second inning they are just on you so quickly. So as a pitcher and as a pitch caller, you have to be staying ahead of things, and you have to be so precise with the spots that you're locating with, like Landry's doing right now.
Back-to-back strikeouts to start off the night.
This is a big deal for Sam Landry. I think she is feeling the juice from this Texas crowd playing in front of these thousands of people, because she is rolling. Her movement is so great. Gets Skylar Wallace on a screwball there. Remember, she struck out Morgan Zerkle inside with the drop ball, goes outside to Skylar Wallace to give her a different look as a lefty.
Does that add a few miles per hour to your pitching when you got a crowd like this, mainly behind you here, knowing the big local fan base?
Absolutely. Your adrenaline is running big time.
There's Aaron Koffel with two-way. Koffel leads the league in on-base percentage and slugging percentage. There is no breathing room in this lineup, especially the top half of the Bandits lineup.
She is throwing with good velocity, and when you look at her strikeouts and where she likes to get them, this red area that we're about to show you is going to be the area that she gets the most strikeouts. So, oops, a little bit further away than what I want, but see those red areas? So outside to a lefty, and then also a little bit down the zone with her drop ball and her changeup. Those are the areas that she is able to get the majority of the strikeouts.
How difficult is it to go literally days after the season ended to transitioning to pro ball, tougher hitters, or is it, hey, listen, you don't have to worry about having some rust, having some downtime. You're right back in it. This one launched into foul territory. Whorton is there. And Sam Landry making quick work of this dangerous Bandits offense. Scoreless after one here in Round Rock. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is sponsored by Rebel Girls. Got a packed house and then some. The fans filing in about 2 o'clock Central. In advance of this game, big matchup between Bandits and Bolts. Plenty of local interest. Sam Landry, we mentioned that. Nickles-Ca as well. We'll see her. Bella Dayton played in Texas. Great throw from right field. So far, the fans get their money's worth. On to inning number 2 we go. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up for the Bolts.
And a crowd like this, I mean, I feel like we really only see something that's even close to this at the Women's College World Series, and that is 12,000, close to 13,000 people that are there. But this crowd is absolutely incredible, and they're loud, too. They have a rally squad that gets them involved and a great MC constantly at these AUSL games.
McMillan back out in the circle. Starts off inning number 2 with a strike. Jesse Warren, former Seminoles, reached in 6 straight games. That is now the 4th time in the last 5 games she's been hit.
People trying to throw her inside. I feel like she has so much power to the opposite side, and her bat has heated up in this second half. Played some really good defense last weekend in Seattle. She is just a walking highlight reel over at third base, and I just feel like when she's playing good defense, usually her bat starts to get hot too.
So again, a runner on. Volts had 2 in the first inning. Couldn't take advantage. Sispates dropping down the bunt, the throw over to first. That will advance the runner. Well, the Volts really couldn't ask for anything more. First 2 innings, runner in scoring position. In each of these innings, can they take advantage? Rachel Garcia coming up to the plate. Kat Osterman has called her the rock of the team this season. A huge stabilizing force.
Now with her veteran experience and with the fact that she's a pitcher who can take the bulk of the innings and that highest percentage of innings on the team, plus you know what you're going to get from her offensively. I can know darn well why Kat would say that about a player like Rachel Garcia being the rock. Not to mention, too, she's just really strong, too. When you think of somebody who is strong mentally, strong physically, a rock kind of describes that as well, and that's Rachel Garcia with her experience and leadership.
Team leader in wins of the circle, and offensively chipped in with 7 hits at the plate this season. Doesn't chase the 0-2. This Volts offense averaging just under 4 runs per game. See what Garcia does with a 1-2. Runner on second, sends one to deep right field. That one hauled in, and that will advance Whorton over to third. Let's send it down to the third member of our team, Savannah Collins.
Well, in the 21 games this season, we've seen Bandits head coach Stacy Newman-Denise take on a pitch-by-committee approach most of the year, and honestly, not relying on an ace has been no problem. Lexi Kilfoyle has had the most starts with 6. Taylor McMillan getting her 3rd start of the season, and she's made the most appearances for the squad. And I asked Coach Newman-Denise about how this team has been able to embrace a lot of different roles, and she said everyone on this staff has been aces before. So they want the ball, and they have that ability to come in and slam the door, and it's allowed her to have different plans and take different approaches every game. She's got a rough one going in. She sees how it goes, and when they make their changes, that's why they've been able to be super effective with their staff.
And even when the probable starters came out before this 4-game series, she had listed a different starter for each of the 4 games. So a 4-woman rotation that she entered in with the mindset of having, and that's what's made AUSL so different this season, is having the coaches come out with those probable starters before the series starts. It makes it a lot of fun.
McMillan with the 1-2 two-way to Deja Mulipala. That one just misses the mark. The count evened up. Can obviously be a benefit having 5 aces on your staff, and also a challenge managing those personalities and making sure everybody kind of knows their role.
Yeah, it seems like they communicate really well. They support each other as a staff.
This one drilled to deep right field, and the Volts are on the board. Deja does it here in the second. That was the early offensive spark they were looking for, and they got it.
Remember, Taylor McMillan has pitched very well against the Volts this season. But I just feel like the Volts' offense is showing up on a mission already early in this game. They are executing, getting runners on base, and even hitting for some power here with Deja Mulipala getting a pitch that is up in the zone, driving it the opposite way. That ball just continued to carry out of here.
And now
210 down the lines and 230 to center field, so pretty deep to center field, that 230 mark, and she even got underneath it, but it shows you how strong she is. A towering shot from Mulipala. Get the Volts on the board.
We heard a huge round of applause a moment ago, not only for Deja, but for Mia Scott as well, former Texas Longhorn who played college ball about 30 minutes south of here. Waiting the 1-1.
Another fan favorite. Talked about Sam Landry, her teammate, Volts, the starting pitcher for them, being a fan favorite, but my goodness, Mia Scott is as well.
That one high and inside on Scott. McMillan trying to settle down on a hot, humid night here in Round Rock. And dribble over to second, the quick scoop over to first. And the top of the second comes to an end, but the Volts do some damage here in inning number 2, courtesy of the long ball.
Yeah, just the second of the year for Deja Mulipala. Her bat has been quiet, but she gets the Volts on the board first with a 2-0 lead.
This is coming full circle for me. Grew up being a softball player, played in college, and so now to come back in this role with MLB, so incredibly supportive, it's in a lot of ways surreal.
We had for years appreciated the significance of softball. We became more and more familiar with AUSL and decided that given the infrastructure that was in place, the people that were involved, that we thought it was the best way to grow softball.
The best teams that I've been on are the MLB team and the AUSL team. I get the chills when I think about where our game is, where it's going. I've got my 3-year-old daughter. She turns on the TV and it's the norm for her to see softball on TV, women, female athletes, professional athletes on TV, and it gives me the chills.
That was in Atlanta around the All-Star game, as Kim Ng is here, the AUSL commissioner. That is her back, unfortunately, to us, as she's deep in conversation, but
she's working, you know.
The MLB commissioner, Rob Manfred, Natasha Watley, Jenny Finch was also on that panel, but just discussing the relationship between Major League Baseball and investing in AUSL and their partnership. I mean, it's been awesome, Alex, to watch just it continually grow and strengthen the league, whether it's on social media, things off the field that we're not even seeing, articles written. It just goes on and on, the relationship between MLB and AUSL.
And they have to be so thrilled as that one misses to Danielle Gibson Whorton. With the reaction, you never know how the fans are going to react when starting up a new league, or at least a new alteration. of a league, and the response nationwide has just been utterly fantastic. They have to be thrilled.
Yeah, it's been contagious, and it just is continually impressive to me, just the support staff and the all-encompassing staff that they have with the AUSL. Everybody working hard on content, on marketing, ticketing. That pitch is nasty. Just everybody working together with the same goal and the same mission to give these fans a great experience, to grow this league, and to grow the dreams of young softball players, if they're 3, like Natasha Watley's daughter, or if they're 16 in high school.
Full count. Meanwhile, coming up to Gibson Whorton from Landry. Struck out the first 2 batters she faced in inning number 1.
She better go back to that drop ball inside right here. Oh, goes to the screw and does not get the call. I would have gotten.
You have a big grin on your face because you know she should have listened to you. Instead, here's base runner number 1 on the night for the Bandits.
Oh my goodness, that drop ball inside to these lefties is on a different level of movement tonight for Sam Landry. She is spinning the heck out of that.
There is Bubba Nickles-Ca, former UCLA Bruin, who went yard for the 7th time this year last night. First pitch misses to her. Now listen, for a Bandits offense like the one we've witnessed this series and all season long, 2-run deficit, nothing to worry about, certainly nothing to panic about. But obviously, if you're the Volts playing in front of a crowd that seems at least Volt heavy as far as the support is going, Landry and company have to feel good as this one to shallow center field. Briggs is there.
Yeah, it's funny to talk about that drop ball that she's throwing in to the lefties, and to think about how much she threw that her senior year at Oklahoma. It's her most used pitch here in the AUSL as a pro, and that is a pitch that she told me that Jerry Plasko, her former head coach at Louisiana, wanted her to throw more, and he tried to continually talk her into it. Hey, this is a good pitch. This is a good pitch. And she just said she was a little bit stubborn with it, like did never really give it a chance. And then she went to Oklahoma, started working with Jen Rocha, and I guess was just a little bit more open to throwing that pitch, and it really became her most used pitch alongside her changeup and her screw.
Count 0-2 to Sydney McKinney. What do you feel like the toughest adjustment is, the biggest adjustment for Landry going to the pro level, whether it's physically, mentally, whatever the case?
Well, I do think it was a challenge, as we were talking about the last inning that she was pitching, going from the NCAA postseason, the Women's College World Series.
Swing over to third, on to second for 1.
And throwing so much at the Women's College World Series, and the pressure of those games, the expectations of wearing an Oklahoma uniform, the heat in Oklahoma. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into being a pitcher at the Women's College World Series, nevertheless being a pitcher for the 4-time defending national champs. So I think it was a tougher transition for her in terms of mental and physical fatigue. But look at her now, a little bit rested, not throwing her as much as maybe they did earlier in the season. And look at her go. It's the best I've seen her pitch.
And, you know, I would imagine it adds quite a bit more pressure on the pitching staff throughout the season. When the offense isn't being consistent, you feel like you have to really have your A game night in and night out. She's obviously getting some support so far tonight offensively.
Well, and then these hitters are just so good, Alex. Like, they're so good. You cannot miss anywhere on the plate. You have to be throwing at least a half ball off of the plate, at least, or maybe even a ball off the plate to make attempts to get them out. And you have to be able to change speeds, which is why she's been able to have some success here, because that changeup that she throws is one of her best pitches, and it has been her entire life. She loves that changeup.
I mean, the one positive for her, maybe something that is a little easier to adapt to, is the wider strike zone. Has to help, because, I mean, you and I were talking earlier today, if there was a collegiate strike zone this level,
be a little bit worried. The hitters are just so good. Like, they're so experienced. They have scattering reports on these pitchers. They get to see them in synergy and look at the data in 6-4-3. Utilize all these different tools as she throws that changeup to get the second strike of the count right there to get back into it.
Runner still over at first. Gibson Whorton led off the inning with a walk, 2 away. And a payoff pitch on the way to Wisz. Second walk of the inning for Landry.
A couple of these counts are full count walks where she throws a pitch to our conversation, to the point of our conversation, trying to live on the edges and see just how far out that she can get, and she's not getting the call. Remember, that walk to Danielle Gibson Whorton was just a little bit off the plate. That walk on a changeup there to Wisz, just a little bit off the plate. Now getting herself in a little bit of trouble here.
There's Jordan Roberts, catcher out of Live Oak, Florida. Walked a couple of times in the series, and now you can see time being called by Morley Pola to go out and have a chat with Landry.
Yeah, good time to go out and talk with her. And if I'm Deja, I'm like, hey, you're like throwing really good today, so just make small, tiny adjustments. I'm going to work with you to help get these pitches called. A strike, I'll get a little bit further out on the outside corner, try to get around it, just do whatever I have to do, but keep doing what you're doing. I'll help you out, make small adjustments.
It's as simple as that. You're throwing really good tonight.
Got to remind her, because she's not getting these calls. As a pitcher, you start to get in your head about it, like, oh, I have to make these major changes, and you don't.
Well, now things getting a little bit interesting. You had a runner on first with 2 out. Now you have 2 on. It's a 2-0 count. You got to be careful here. Jordan Roberts has been very patient so far in this series. There's strike 1 from Landry. Roberts, tremendous defensive catcher. One of the best defensive catchers. Best defensive players in Florida history. There's a swing and a miss. And the count evened up at 2.
Helping her out by swinging at that pitch right there. 2-1 count, looking to hit, and then she drops that changeup in, and it looks enticing, but just fell off the table to get her right back in it.
Big pitch on the way from Landry. Got her, strike 3 to end the inning with 2 on.
Sam Landry is electric right now, and not just because she plays for the Volts, but because of how she is pitching. Her ball is moving. That was a curveball, but it had some down movement to it. I'm telling you, that drop and down movement is on.
Fans packing the house here in Round Rock, Texas, as we head to inning number 3 and a new pitcher taken over in the circle for the Bandits. It'll be Lexi Kilfoyle replacing Taylor McMillan.
I've seen Lexi Kilfoyle in all 3 games now, come in relief in this one. We started to do a great job in yesterday's game as well.
Kilfoyle, first overall pick in the inaugural USL draft. Closed things out last night, 1 scoreless inning.
Like to use her, or we've been seeing her come in late in the game, with this one coming in after the first time through the order. Let Taylor McMillan go at it. Had that 2-run home run hit off of her by Deja Mlipola, and so second time through the order, they want to give a different look with Lexi Kilfoyle and see how she follows up pitching after Taylor McMillan.
And to get some more thoughts, additional thoughts on Lexi Kilfoyle, we bring in her teammate over at first base right now, Danielle Gibson Whorton, who we have mic'd up for this inning. Danielle, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, Lex.
First pitch misses to Amanda Lorenz. What has it been like tonight so far, Danielle, playing in this atmosphere with this electric crowd on hand?
Gosh, this environment is exactly what you train to play in. I mean, this is epic. And I just saw one of our players at Arkansas here, and it all just got better. Here we go, Sky. Here we go, Sky. Yes!
Nice job.
Good job.
Lorenz retired.
There we go. Love to see that.
If we start annoying you too much while you're playing out in the field, you can just tell us to shut up.
No worries. You know, once I upgraded to a mom, I feel like I can multitask a little bit better. So we're good. We're good. Yeah, Lex, great job. We're good. But this environment is epic. This is amazing, and I'm grateful for Round Rock. Good. See you. Good pitch. So this is amazing.
Danielle, you've gotten to see your guys' pitchers. Well, you were traded, so not as much as if you were here the entire season, but I think that you know them well nevertheless. Like, what is it like to watch Lexi Kilfoyle follow Taylor McMillan? How tough is that for a hitter to go up against?
Gosh, Bandit staff is a tough staff, and especially when you pair them well like that with what Taylor does really well and with what Lexi does really well. That's the great part about having a newbie on our staff, too, is the minds behind it all. And some of the pairings and just the feel of the game. It's hard adjustments to make us hitters, so that's a completely different swing plane, completely different approach, and they're doing it. They're doing it.
I don't think we got to talk to you, at least being mic'd up, since you got traded. What was it like to be one of the couple of trades and like just that transition going from the Blaze to the Bandits?
Well, I'm just grateful I got the whole experience, right? The league in general is, I want to do whatever I can to promote the league, and if this trade was what the league needed, I'm all in and I'm bought in, and I just think this league is just on the brink of something really special, and to be able to have the opportunity, obviously with the Bandits and how well they've performed this year, it's great to just jump in and be a part of. But the girls have just been great accepting me, and it just goes to show that people in this league are really great.
Yeah, because I was thinking, Danielle, just more so even about the quick turnaround for you to like get the call, and then all of a sudden you're playing in Omaha with the Bandits. I think it was Omaha, but yeah. What was that, like even that quick transition like for you to join the Bandits?
Well, it was quick. I call it a layover in Seattle because I had flown to Seattle with the Blaze, practice, got the call. We were actually at the aquarium. We took Whit to the aquarium. And they're like, hey, you wanna? We just traded you, so you got to get on a plane to Omaha in the morning. And I was like, all right, if that's what, I have tremendous respect for the Blaze and what they do and what the Bandits do. And so I respected their decision. I was excited for myself, excited for Devin Nets. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be here, but also have experienced all of that being in a new league and kind of setting the tone a little bit of the professionalism it takes to kind of work in a little bit. Okay.
You have a new player standing right behind you, Sierra Briggs, over at first after the walk. Here's D Coffey at the plate, taking strike one.
Yeah, Lex.
From Lexi Kilfoyle. What has impressed you most so far this year in your time with Lexi Kilfoyle as a teammate?
Gosh, she is steady Eddie as it comes. Her stuff is always really good. Good pitch. Always really good, and you always know how competitive she's going to be. And if she does miss a pitch, she takes accountability for it immediately, and that's the teammate that you want out of everybody. And so for me, she has been everything but the first pick of the entire draft. She deserved that for sure. See you.
Danielle, you guys know at this point that you're going to be in the AUSL Championship, the first ever one in Tuscaloosa next weekend. What's it like now to go into these games knowing that you already have a spot? What are you guys still wanting to work on and prepare for?
See you. Well, I think the perspective of fine-tuning, focusing on the Bandits. Fine-tuning, focusing on not letting any outside noise affect our performance, affect how we go into the box, how we approach games. And that is kind of the obviously getting at bats. See you. And things like that will always be in our favor. But testing our mindset, testing our toughness is kind of what Newbie's been trying to get us to do, and I agree with it. So, which I like how we're going so far.
3-2 on the way. This one launched to right field. Dayton reaching up and makes the grab in front of the fence. And the throw to second, not in time as Briggs makes it over to second. 2-away.
Danielle, just one more for you. You guys lead the league in home runs, and I'm curious, like, what is it about the way that you guys approach each at bat or communicate with each other that has led to leading the league in home runs?
Gosh, it's so fun hitting with these hitters. They're so good. Zerk leading us off. I mean, I've been a victim of it. Leadoff bomb. She's fearless, and that sets the tone for the rest of us. And then honestly, being able to just communicate in between, how do we beat this pitcher? How do we, kind of move forward with plans? When we are successful in our plan, what do we divert to? That's been the best part for me. It scratches an itch for me as a coach, and it's so much fun. Yeah, Lex.
One on the way.
See you!
Danielle,
That's a
it's,
good
it's an important part of the game at this point, so I think we're going to stop bugging you. We'll let you go the rest of the inning. You got a runner in scoring position you got to take care of. But we'll listen in. We'll eavesdrop here.
Sounds good.
For the final out. Thanks again so much for joining us, Danielle.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, Lex. Yeah, Lex.
Then a runner in scoring position. Sierra Romero at the plate as the count now goes 2-1.
I see you.
And with Lexi Kilfoyle coming in, going to be more down in the zone with her drop ball. And McSpeeds with her changeup and also an off-speed curveball, but more down the zone that these hitters are going to see.
Come on.
Chopped over to third. In time, on target, and the inning comes to an end. It remains a 2-0 game as we head to the bottom of the third inning here in Round Rock, Texas. As you can see, the fans having a great time here at Dell Diamond in Round Rock, record-setting attendance, hopping around in the outfield between innings.
Oh no, it's getting really close here to the end.
I'm just happy we didn't have another Coldplay incident focusing in on here. It's just some nice, wholesome fun here among the fans.
Everybody knows
in attendance
about that, just like they know about Bella Dayton's defense out in right field. I feel like the ball just has found her continuously already early in this game, but got to show off her arm in the first inning to shut down the speed of Sierra Briggs. This is the 13th double play that the Bandits have had this season, which leads the league, actually tied with the Volts.
And Dayton just a tremendous, I mean, you talk about plays like that, we can go over her statistics, but it's really the mentality she brings, the grit, the intensity, that leadership. Just really, that's priceless. You can't put a value on that.
And Jessie Whorton over at third base is right in her face over at third base. I thought she started close, like this is where she started, and as the pitch is delivered, she's going to continually creep in, just knowing that Bella Dayton could likely lay down a bunt, but not likely when she sees her there.
That went high and inside.
Back at a swing away. Just what Bella Dayton did, I mean, she can clearly see where Jessie Whorton starts. She can see her in her peripheral vision, maybe take a peek before Sam Landry moves into her motion to see again where she's at.
Drops down the bunt, sliding in, and the throw over to third in time. What a play by Whorton.
That was right there. This is you versus me. Bella Dayton knew that Jessie Whorton was right there, and she still said, I'm going to lay this bunt down and make you do everything perfect to get me out. And Jessie Whorton did Jessie Whorton things over at third base. Just a game of cat and mouse. I cannot believe she still laid that bunt down with Jessie Whorton creeping that much, and Jessie Whorton made that incredible play to get the speed of Dayton.
A phenomenal first out at the hot corner by Whorton. So now we go back up to the top of the order for the Bandits. And M Zerkle, who's homered in 2 straight games. You mentioned Whorton, known for her defense, certainly, even going back to her time with the Florida State Seminoles.
Oh, my goodness. Jessie Whorton anticipating it. Bella Dayton seeing that Jessie Whorton is anticipating that bunt and still laying it down, and laid it down beautifully. If Jessie Whorton is not playing halfway up the line and then some, she doesn't get her out.
That's just softball at the highest level. You get the cat-mouse game. Whorton adjusts by going way in. Dayton counters that with the short bunt. Whorton comes up with the best of it. And there is the second strikeout of one of the best hitters in the league, M Zerkle.
And Sam Landry just knows that that is the pitch that she can go to in this game against M Zerkle. Alex, that's a pitch I'm continually calling for against these left-handed hitters because of the way that it's moving. Got M Zerkle out on the same pitch in her first strikeout, that drop ball in.
The top 2 hitters in this lineup, Zerkle and Skylar Wallace. Again, 2 phenomenal hitters, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts so far against Sam Landry. Wallace went 2 for 5 with a double last night. Here's a dribbler. Landry has to hurry, gives it up to Muli Pola. Can't make the play in time.
That has happened a couple of times for Skylar Wallace in this series. I'm sure it's happened outside of this game too, where it's just a swinging bunt off the end of the bat that you want and out on. Skylar Wallace can really barrel up and show off her power. He's the smile of Sam Lander, just kind of a smirk like, oh, that was such a good pitch. That should be an out. But with the speed of Wallace and the speed all throughout this lineup, nothing on the ground is taken for granted.
Wallace a hit in all but 2 games this year.
Oh my gosh, the throwback almost hit Sam Landry. She was not looking. She was looking somewhere else, and it almost just hit her in the face, and she got her glove up. That was close.
She's laughing it off, but a dangerous play, as you said.
So I don't know where she was looking at the time, but Deja Molipola just got the ball back and threw it, and she looked away. Looked like over at shortstop, maybe at Sis, or heard something, I'm not sure, but my goodness. Can't believe she got her glove up.
1-1 on the way to Coffey. Is still looking for her first hit of the weekend. Has been hit by a pitch and walked. Well, she's been hit by a pitch more than anybody in the league by a wide margin. Hit 13 times this year. Nobody else in the AUSL has been hit more than 7 times. A big-time target at the plate.
Remember how good we talked about that the Bandits are at making adjustments. So I'm interested to see as this second time through the order goes on, how Sam Landry is going to handle their adjustments. Bandits have been hit by the pitch second most time, behind the Talons. Blaze only been hit 9 times.
I mean, not just a coincidence, right? That's just aggressive hitters at the plate, crowding the plate.
Yeah, and just knowing that when you throw Erin Coffey in with her power, you have to go hard in. About a ball and a half off the plate. You do not want to miss on the inner half.
A full count on the way to Coffey.
The rise ball on the inner half right there that got her good height to be able to get that pitch a called strike for a rise ball low through the zone.
3-2 with 1 on and 2 away. Lifted to left field. Lorenz is there. Landry and the Volts continue to get it done. It remains a 2-run game now after 3 here from the Dell Diamond.
Alex, I have an idea. Could we move?
Volts with a 2-0 lead over the Bandits here in Round Rock. And let me tell you who's had a great day at the ballpark. It's Darcy Diffin. She is our Rebel Girls junior reporter for the AUSL. She got to talk to some of our athletes pregame. You can see her interviewing another Texas native, Bella Dayton. She's been shadowing me all day. She's got a look into what it's like to be the sideline reporter for what I think is the best league in the country. And she got to throw out the first pitch. Hum that one right in there. Darcy, thanks so much for hanging out with us. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about what it's like to be a Rebel Girls reporter. What has that been like covering the AUSL this summer?
Yeah, it's been so fun. I got to do a lot of behind the scenes on some of my favorite teams and players, which I never thought was possible, but then and it's really cool to see all of that, and I just love representing a brand that focuses on empowering young girls like me to achieve their dream.
Without a doubt. I also never thought this job was possible, so we got to do some cool things this summer. Now, I know as reporters, we're supposed to be objective, but sometimes we do have our faves. Who is your favorite team that you've been able to watch this year?
My favorite team is the Volts because the moment I saw who was going to be on that team, it had some of my favorite players, and I knew that it was just going to be, before they even started playing, it was just going to be such a competitive and joyous team to watch, and I'm so excited I get to see them play now.
Well, you got that right. And you're from Austin, too, so obviously the Cat Osterman connection, being the GM. Who are your favorite players also on the Volts? I know we were kind of talking sometimes you're torn because when your favorites going up against each other, who do you root for?
Yeah, I could not choose between Mia Scott and Bella Dayton. I loved watching them play at Texas, and whether they're on or off the field, I always see them cheering, and they're just one of the reasons I love watching softball.
Good teammates, great examples. That's exactly what Rebel Girls is all about. And, you know, I know you play softball, you're a pitcher, but why is it maybe girls who do play softball, maybe they're catching it on TV for the first time at the pro level this summer, why should they tune in?
Softball has so many life lessons that whether you play softball or not can just help you through anything. And when you get to watch these pros, they have used these lessons to drive them and now they're on the field playing pro softball. And I bet this is a lot of their dreams. And it's just so cool seeing how they get to handle like failure and success, and just there's so many life lessons, and you can learn so much.
Absolutely. It taught me a lot of things, and if I want everybody to remember this name, Darcy Diffin, because when we're far beyond 4 and 6 teams next year, hopefully you and I will both be covering this league in a little while. All right, back to you guys.
Darcy speaks better than I do. I want to remind you, the AUSL has partnered with Rebel Girls, a global empowerment brand dedicated to raising the most inspired and confident generation of girls. As you can see, check out Rebel Girls on YouTube as junior reporters recap the AUSL season. Tremendous job by Darcy Diffin.
Yeah, they've been on top of it. I even saw Darcy down at the Goody Braid Bar whenever I was down there pregame, getting a braid in my hair. She was too.
Meanwhile, quickly, a couple of outs recorded by Kilfoyle and the Bandits. There's Darcy and Savannah.
I mean, what a huge day for her. Going to the braid bar, throwing the first pitch, getting interviewed by Savannah, getting to shadow her. It's awesome.
Just a lot of positive energy around this league. The excitement around it. You can sense it, as we said. Record crowds all around the nation, including tonight, a packed house. I saw some fireworks early on offensively from the Volts. Deja Mulipola. She'll be coming up in a little bit, but here's Rachel Garcia with 2 away.
A couple of quick outs for Lexi Kilfoyle to start this inning. In fact, 6 pitches, 2 outs for Kilfoyle made it easy.
Volts with 3 hits. Bandits have been limited to 1 up to this point. That one off the glove of Kilfoyle. The throw over to first. Just beating it out is Garcia.
It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And if you're Lexi Kilfoyle, I think if you don't knock this down, I don't know if Skylar Wallace has a chance to make a play on this. Stands over 6 foot tall. I think it would have made its way up the middle, but because it did hit off of her glove, it gave her a chance for a bang-bang play at first. Good hustle by the Rock, a.k.a. Rachel Garcia, to get down the line. That was really close at first base.
So runner on with 2 away. Deja Mulipola takes strike 1 from Kilfoyle. Mulipola been on a little bit of a tear as of late, a hit in 4 straight games, including a couple of home runs during that stretch. Tenth overall pick in the inaugural AUSL draft. Second catcher taken.
A hitter that just has a ton of power, and it's just crazy to see a 188 batting average next to Deja Mulipola's name. Has not had the year offensively that I'm sure she would have liked for this inaugural season, but still a hitter that has a ton of respect from pitchers and players all across this league because of what she's done in her career internationally and then as a pro and as well as in college. Can hit the ball hard and a very long way, like she did her first at bat. That home run to right center field.
Hit 68 home runs in college with Arizona. That one roped to left. That'll drop into foul territory.
Hung on to that changeup with everything that she had, but she did hit a home run off of Taylor McMillan back in her first at bat. 2-run home run that she sent the opposite way, and it was just a towering shot, like a pitch that was up in the zone. It just more so came at an angle that was straight up, and just to me showed you how powerful Deja Mulipola is.
Let's see what she does here with the 2-2 over to third, handled by Wisz. Rocket over to first, and the threat is over. Still 2-0 Volts here in the 4th.
I'm Bubba Nickles-Ca. I'm an outfielder, and this is my player profile. So 48 is very special to me in that my dad's favorite number is 4 and my favorite number is 8, and we kind of just put them together. He has been the biggest influence in not just my playing career, but my life. My favorite emoji is the face where it's like the squiggly, like like this, and it looks like it's all confused. I use that one a lot when I'm describing how I'm feeling. And that's a wrap.
All right, Bubba Nickles-Ca second in the league in home runs. Far from a wrap for her offensively this year. Still has the championship to go next weekend against the Talons. So far this season, 7 home runs, as we said, second most in the league, just one behind her teammate at the top of the order, Morgan Zerkle. Maddie Bubba Nickles-Ca. Of course, a lot of people know the story. Born Madeline Maddie Nickles. Dad loved to call her Bubba. That's like a Southern thing, especially a Texas thing. And she said usually that's said to boys at her age, but she's like, listen, I didn't have any brothers, so my dad just started calling me Bubba. Bub, and it stuck.
I have a couple of very unique nicknames that go as the first names that are different than their given first name, like Sis Bates, same way. Bubba, another one.
Scarby, do you have any nicknames in college?
Scarby, Scarborough.
That's it? That's it? It's great if that's it. It's no Bubba, but all right.
I'm working on making it legal. You know, it's a long process, but working on it.
Danielle Gibson Whorton at the plate. Went yard last night. Nickles-Ca waiting in the wings. She's due up next. I'm still extremely impressed how Danielle was able to handle us buzzing in her ear for that inning while she's fielding out there, focusing. Did a tremendous job handling that. How would you have liked that, pitching in the circle while mic'd up with people in your ear?
Yeah, pitching would be hard. They did that for the MLB All-Star game. I saw the starting pitcher was mic'd up, as well as Clayton Kershaw. His actually went viral because he was just having fun with it. You know, he's played for years and just having such a good time with it. Ooh.
That one plunks Gibson Whorton.
And yeah, it did hit her, and she swung at it, so that actually will be a strike, so she'll be headed back.
You can see the discussion taking place right now with first base umpire Smokey Eds.
It's that drop ball inside again to these lefties. It's moving like crazy, so even though that pitch did hit her, she did swing through it, so we'll go down as a strike.
And there were 2 strikes, so she's retired there. Here's Nickles-Ca to left field. Instead of a runner on with no outs, space is empty with 2 away. There comes Sydney McKinney. Meanwhile, Sam Landry. Wow, just 1 hit so far and 5 strikeouts, 3 against 2 of the elite hitters in the lineup, if not the entire league.
Yeah, I really think that this has been her best outing that she's had, and saw it through the first time through, and we had talked about this, Alex, how tough the Bandits are the second time through the order against the same pitcher, and how any pitcher against any offense really in this league can struggle. Here's that drop ball again. It is like
nasty,
really moving, but I mean, she's still been able to spin the ball well. She's not throwing through her spin. That drop ball is just really coming off of her fingertips very well, and she's very whippy right now through her release.
60 pitches, 36 strikes. Next one misses. That 1-4 record we mentioned earlier, maybe a little bit deceiving. Opposing batters were hitting .271 against her, second lowest on the team. Of course, we know how she finished off her tremendous college career. An All-American at Oklahoma a few months ago. Induces the ground out. Another 1-2-3 inning worked by Landry. And the Volts getting it done in the circle, the Texas native.
Bolts continue to pace this game against the Bandits in Round Rock. I am joined by Chris Almendares. He's the president of the Round Rock Express. Thanks so much for joining me, being an incredible host throughout this series. So I know we see just how big this crowd is. but I want to hear the number. What's the news on tonight's attendance?
It's pretty exciting. We're over 6,500. So as you can see, this crowd, last night was great, but this crowd's even better. So
I mean, I can hardly hear you, and you are sitting right beside me right now. And I will say, this field has been beautiful. We've seen the work that the grounds crew has put in, but tell the audience what that looked like. How do you convert a baseball field to a softball field and it be top-notch like this tonight?
look, we're blessed. We got the best group in all of baseball. They started the conversion on Sunday afternoon. They dug out the mound. I think about a couple of tons of dirt that they got out of their clay and the dirt. And then, of course, you know, they dug out the base pass. And that's one of the things that, you know, they worked overnight to get this thing done to be ready and actually ready for the girls to be able to practice, you know, on Tuesday.
Absolutely. I was talking to one of the ground crews guys. He said 3 12-hour days and we were going to have this thing ready, and it looks fantastic. You know, you were a big part of when pro softball made a stop here in 2010, Jenny Finch versus Kat Ostman. That drew some big crowds, and you're a big part of why we're here right now with the AUSL. Why is it important to you, and why do you love seeing pro softball here in Round Rock?
Look, I think it starts with our ownership group. Ryan Sanders Baseball. You know, Reed Ryan, our founder, has 2 daughters that were playing softball growing up. Our general manager, Tim Jackson, has 2 daughters, so it's kind of come full circle. And so, look, women's sports taking off. The fans are unbelievable. It's just been incredible, the crowds that we've had. And to have this atmosphere at Dell Diamond has just been neat. A lot of new faces and a chance to kind of show off Dell Diamond. It's our partnership with the city of Round Rock, what we do. And so, you know, you think of the front porch of Central Texas, you think of Dell Diamond. We host our Round Rock Express baseball games, and now, of course, the AUSL softball has been amazing these last couple of days, and we got one more game tomorrow.
Well, it's neat hearing from you that you've got to see the progression of pro softball as it's grown throughout the years. This series, have you had a favorite moment? Something that's maybe gave you chills?
You know, you said back in 2010, we hosted the NPF, and we had Jenny versus Kat, you know, Natasha Watley, Jessica Mendoza, a lot of the greats, you know, Caitlin Lowe. It was fun to get to know those girls, and the relationships we built over the years, especially with Kat, she's real close. She's part of our family, and when we had a chance to visit with Kim early on to bring this back this year, we were so excited and thought, you know, this is what it's all about. And you know, Thursday night, seeing Kat go out there and you know, the ovation they gave her, and she's a big part of this and what this game's doing and how it's grown. And so to be a small part of that, we're really excited to partner up this weekend.
Well, we have loved being in Round Rock. Thank you again for being a great host. Let us take over the house for a couple days. We've sure enjoyed it, that's for sure.
Well, thanks for having us. We enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Savannah and Chris. Chris, beloved in the Austin community. He's been with the Express since 2009, president for the last decade. And this is a top-notch program and ballpark here. The Dell Diamond, you heard Chris mention, more than 6,500 fans packing the house tonight, a new AUSL record.
Yeah, it's just been a different level since we've been here. And what's so great, Alex, is that this stadium can accommodate a large number of fans. It's something that in our sport of softball, there just aren't a lot of big stadiums that can have 5,000 or 6,000 fans come and watch a softball game. So we're provided that here with the home of the Round Rock Express.
One popped up off the bat of Lorenz, by the way, with Mia Scott over at second. You mentioned the home of the Round Rock Express, named after the Noel and Ryan Express. The Ryan family starting up this franchise 25 years ago, but this is one of the best minor league ballparks you will see in the entire country.
Yeah, and again, major credit to the field crew for how hard they worked to get this field ready by having cutouts around the bases, as well as for the pitching circle that is in front of where the would-be pitcher's mound would be. They're playing a baseball game. You can see the hard work that went into this to create this the best experience for these AUSL players and fans.
You and I were getting some goosebumps earlier when Mia Scott delivered a single, advanced on air. The crowd just erupted. I mean, when they get into it, it's been a pitcher's duel, but those moments where something big has happened, you can absolutely feel it.
Yeah, they love her, and this crowd has honestly sounded louder than 6,500 people, and to think that we had close to 5,000 on Thursday, over 5,500 yesterday, and then that number has just risen all 3 games that we've had of this 4-game set.
2 all on the way to Sierra Briggs. Yeah, Briggs, a part of the first trade in league history, and Kat Osterman brought her over from the Blaze in exchange for Mackenzie Clark a month ago.
Makes you wonder, like, is Round Rock going to be on the list for a potential host city when it comes next summer? I don't know what all goes into that. I feel like No, I don't feel like I know that that is well above my pay grade for how that's going to get all worked out. But when you have this amount of fans and support and attention here at the game, how would you not consider a place like this?
I don't know what more they can do. They have a top-notch stadium, the fans showing up every night of this 4-game series so far.
Awesome.
Sun starting to set as that one fouled off the bat of Briggs, who's reached twice, a single and a walk. This is a hitter who has been red hot, 3 for 4 last night. Had a hit in 5 of her last 6 heading into tonight. There's a runner in scoring position, and Scott as the Volts up by 2, looking for more. Scott to center field. Nickles-Ca. Scott retreat to second following the second out.
Sierra Briggs has been hot. RBI in the first game, or 2 RBIs in the first game, RBI in the second game. Just continues to swing the bat and see the ball well here late in the season. We'll see now if, oh, actually Danielle Coffey not going to come up to bat here. I was going to see if that lineup, moving her up in the lineup, was going to pay off here, but instead we're going to see, it looks like Jennings pinch hit, who had been in street close in game 1 and game 2 of the series.
Making her first appearance this weekend. Does have 3 hits in her last 3 games. Sends that one down the line. That's a fair ball. Here comes Mia Scott rounding third. She will score easily as Jennings slides into second. In her first appearance of the series, Jennings comes up with the RBI, base knock.
And she is now 3 for 3 as a pinch hitter this season and wastes no time. Literally in street close in game 1 and game 2, her first pitch that she sees of the series, wastes no time, knows what she's looking for down and in, and just hugs the line. An RBI for Jennings, and now the Volts lead by 3.
And this is the offensive output the Volts were looking for as they send in a pinch runner. Danielle Coffey re-entering the game. And again, the offense had been a problem at times throughout the year. 3 run with the way Landry has been pitching. It's pretty good amount of support so far, at least, but the inning not over. Romero coming up to the plate now with Jennings now in scoring position.
And the Volts want to score every run that they can against the best offense in the league.
Yep.
The Volts numbers find themselves at the bottom in a lot of the offensive categories, so pushing for every run that they can here just to go head-to-head with this potent Bandits offense.
Romero 0 for 2 so far tonight. Came up with the first hit in Volts history earlier this year. Tacked on a couple more hits Thursday night in the series opener between these two teams. Fought that one off. Koffel over to first. But the Volts tack on another. Jennings coming off the bench to deliver the RBI double. 3-0 now here in the 5th.
Sam Landry is the first pitcher in the series to go 4 innings. We have seen a ton of pitching changes because they've been needed to be made with all the offense, but not against her in this game. Her outing has been the best that she has thrown in her rookie season. Her ball is moving like crazy. She's throwing with good velocity, 69, 70 miles an hour, and her changeup is diving down too. I'm telling you, Alex, the way that she is throwing is like vintage Sam Landry, back to form. She looks rested. She looks sharp. She is hitting the edges and being able to have that down movement that looks so good. And has role models who love to wear glasses just like, or she is a role model for a lot of these girls in the stands who love to wear glasses, clear glasses at that, just like her.
She has a huge fan following, not only here in her home state, but nationwide as well in her first season in the AUSL.
There are a lot of young girls who wear clear glasses here because of her. And so the funny story about her wearing those glasses is that she said in high school, she just randomly put them on before a high school playoff game. And she threw a perfect game with clear glasses on. So it's the point of no return. After that, she wears them every game. They have to be clear glasses. She might wear some black frames off of the field, but on the field are those clear frames that you see a lot of other girls wear.
That is absolutely her trademark, as she's back out now for inning number 5, facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Wisz, Roberts, and Dayton. So it's kind of a superstitious thing for her to wear the glasses. Do you have anything like that during your playing days?
I had a sparkly headband.
That one misses to Wisz. You're leaving me hanging on the edge of my seat. The sparkly headband. How did it?
Sorry, I had a misunderstanding.
It was a cliffhanger.
No, sparkly headband was it for me, and it was very dirty at the end of 4 years and very stretched out. So I constantly had to re-put it back on and redo it. But sparkly headband was the go-to accessory for me.
I see. Once you entered the second half of your career, the broadcasting phase, you left the sparkly headband behind.
I did. That's a really great point. I maybe should wear it.
I think so. Maybe for tomorrow.
Call it
Not putting you on the spot.
Storage unit. See if we can get it back out.
Is it safe?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's somewhere for sure. Sally Scarborough does not mess with things like the sparkly headband.
There's one thing I know about you: do not mess with Sally Scarborough.
That's right. We've known each other for 13 years now. If you know one thing, you know that.
13th year of doing games together. You never cease to learn new things about you in all this time. That one back up the middle, leadoff base hit by Delaney Wisz to start things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
That was really one of the few misses that Sam Landry has had all night. That was supposed to be a screwball on the inside corner. You see where Deja Mulipola was set up inside, but she reaches across her body, meaning that pitch was right down the middle or more on the outside part of the plate. And Wisz recognizes that mistake, and she just punishes it.
Just the second hit allowed tonight by Sam Landry, both of them singles. Here is Jordan Roberts, who was a strikeout victim in the second. That one misses the mark from Landry. It is to be expected here in Texas in July. Hot night, humid night as well. When does fatigue start to become a factor, you think?
I think it's just more of like a mental fatigue, because you have to be so perfect with every pitch against these hitters, and also maybe a little bit more of a physical fatigue than you might feel in college, in the sense that you have to be on, exert more effort, just be that highest level of precision against these hitters, so you might feel that fatigue a little bit more. Plus the heat.
And right now the Bandits in business to begin the 5th inning. The first 2 batters reach. Wisz with a single, then Roberts hit by a pitch, and that will bring up the former Texas Longhorn, Bella Dayton.
And Bandits putting themselves in a prime position in this inning, being in the bottom of their order, first 2 reaching, and maybe just trying to get Sam Landry out of this game.
When you feel like there's no room for error in this lineup, even the bottom part of the order, Landry's been brilliant all night. You still can't afford to make a mistake, especially here after Dayton. You're going back up to the top of the order, and some tremendous bats as well, like Zerkle and Wallace.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about, is that Morgan Zerkle has struck out twice in this game, and she's going to get up in this inning. Makes quick adjustments, and so she wants to come up with multiple runners on base if she has the opportunity to do so.
That's Corey McMillan taking over as a pinch runner at first. Wisz at second. Third base, Warren playing in yet again for Dayton. We remember what happened last time. Warren seemed like a few feet away from her, right up in her grill. Dayton still managed to drop down a heck of a short bunt, but Warren made a sliding throw to just get her at first.
Sam Landry just a little bit more off in this inning. Found the corner there, but that pitch before was a screwball, kind of fell out of her hand.
And the 1-1 misses. Landry up just over 70 pitches. A lot allowed a single in the 3rd inning. Couple of walks in the 2nd, but got out of that unscathed. 2 on here in the 5th. Dayton, that'll be another base hit. And holding up at 3rd is Wisz. Thought about coming home, and now the bases will be loaded for one of the best hitters in the entire AUSL, Morgan Zerkle, with no outs.
Great job by the bottom of the lineup to get all on for Morgan Zerkle, but Sierra Romero playing more up the middle of the field. Look at how close to second base that she was. Really opened up the right side of the field as Bella Dayton just hung on to that changeup and found the hole because of how up the middle Romero was positioned.
Zerkle leading the league in home runs, 2nd in RBIs. 0 for 2 tonight. Fouls went off. She struck out twice so far against Landry. I mentioned Zerkle leading the league in home runs, 1 ahead of her teammate Bubba Nickles-Ca. If you're Landry, what's the game plan here, pitching-wise, against this elite hitter?
I would try to get back to that drop ball inside. Started her with a rise ball, but I would try to work her down as much as I can. And you know that she's going to be anticipating that drop ball in or something inside that she struck out 2 times on against Landry. She's just batting a cool .619 with runners in scoring position. Morgan Zerkle is no big deal.
Just unreal numbers pretty much in every scenario for Zerkle, who sends one to deep left center field. Briggs is there, makes the catch just in front of the fence. But still, the first run of the game will come home for the Bandits. A deep sac fly by Zerkle makes it a 3-1 game.
You're always so curious how a pitcher is going to go out one of the best hitters in the league. This is a rookie versus a veteran. Remember, Landry struck her out 2 times before this, so she starts her with the rise ball up and in to get her off of the plate a little bit for this screwball that she works on the outside corner, and then gets her out with a curveball that's low and in. That's about the same pitch that she struck out twice on. Great adjustment by Morgan Zerkle to almost hit it out of here for a grand slam, but knowing her, she's a great teammate. She will take that sacrifice fly RBI to give the Bandits on the board.
So Landry still in a dangerous spot. And now a quick meeting in the circle between Wulipola and Landry, and you have to wonder, will that be it for Sam Landry?
I think they might. Oh, bringing in Sam Shao here.
So how about that? What a spot to come into from one Sam to another in a 2-run game with 2 on here in Round Rock. Well, the Volts faked everybody out. Sam Shao was headed to the circle, made a hard right over to first base, so she has replaced Rachel Garcia at first. Sam Landry remains in the game. The count 1-1 to Skylar Wallace with 2 on. That one off the glove of Sis Bates, and the second run of the night will come in for the Bandits. They are within 1.
Good job by Skylar Wallace just to hit the ball on the ground. Runner at third base, able to score her just off of Sis Bates' glove, and it's actually going to be a single to shortstop, so an infield single for Skylar Wallace, who finds herself in a 1st and 3rd situation here.
The Volts now clinging to that 1-run lead. First pitch outside to Aaron Koffel. Another unreal hitter leading the AUSL in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and RBIs. And one more, Ribby, would tie the game. And taking off from first base is Wallace, now into scoring position. So Wallace at second, Dayton at third.
He's hungry for a hit here, going 0 for the series at this point. Aaron Koffel is just looking to drive the ball and get back to form.
Well, for Sam Landry, a few tough outs, gave up a run on a sac fly, another one on an infield single, but trying to still get out of this 5th inning, holding on to the lead. Koffel into foul territory. Whorton is there.
Erin Koffel has just been so hot this entire season, and maybe she's just cooling off a little bit here in Round Rock, which is hard to do in these hot temperatures. But I mean, she has been on another world offensively for Erin Koffel, that you just at some point she's going to cool off a little bit. That's just the name of the game and the name of hitting. It happens.
Retired there for the second out. So two-way now for Danielle Gibson Whorton. 4th in the league in RBIs, got 2 in scoring position. Walked in the 2nd inning against Landry.
Look at Landry just try to work through this 3rd time through the order against this Bandits team with the most traffic that she's seen in 1 inning all game. Not easy to do at all, especially against the middle of the order here, is that you're finding that your stuff to start this inning was not as sharp. Bottom of the lineup reaches against you. You have to face the top of the order. It could be a tricky situation, but she's 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning and still having the lead.
Which is huge considering the bases were loaded with no outs against the best offense in the league. 1-2 on the way.
And coming into the weekend, the Bandits are just such a great team. First time through the order, hit .299 as a team. Second time through the order, .365 as a team. But 3rd time, .381 as a team.
This is that 3rd time through. This one off the glove of Romero. We are tied, and now the Bandits have jumped in front. Danielle Gibson Whorton brings home 2.
When they got her in the trade, they got a big-time RBI producer, and you see where she fits into the best offense in the league. They put her right into the cleanup spot because she can take pitches like that. That is not a bad pitch by Sam Landry at all. It's a pitch that has worked for her against lefties, but Danielle Gibson expecting it and making the most of it to give the Bandits the lead, and Sam Landry just has to feel so down about letting that hit off the bat. I mean, it's a great pitch, but just about letting the Bandits get back into this game and take the lead.
It's got to be so demoralizing for Landry because, again, you give up a run on an infield single before that. 2 runs there of a hit off an infielder, then a run on a sac fly. Hasn't given up the big hit, but now has relinquished the lead.
Well, and think about, Alex, what the Bandits have been able to do this series with the amount of runs that they scored. 17 runs coming in this game in 2 games. Now they add another 4 here with Erin Koffel going 0 for the series. I mean, it just shows you the type of offense that they have put together this season.
Nickles-Ca, Chow has to hurry. And she does, but the Bandits finally break through. 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they have their first lead of the night here in Texas. This with a heck of a ball game to boot. The Vaults jumping out to the early lead in the 2nd. The sun setting here at Dell Diamond in front of a record-setting crowd on hand, more than 6,500. Taking in the sights and sounds of the Vaults and the Bandits. Game number 3, swinging away at the first pitch. Jessie Warren popping it up, and all of a sudden, the Vaults down to their last 5 outs of the night. They are the visiting team tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, that song in the retease that was beautifully put together is perfect for the timing. Bandits taking back the power in this game. I mean,
well, the viewer missed it. You were actually singing along to that, but your mic was turned off.
I've only heard that song about 52 times at this point, so I think I know all the words. But can find different ways that different players and teams are taking back the power, I feel like, in every game.
It's been a great game so far. Let's see if the Volts can respond here. Bates stew up. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Again, they got 2 in the second inning, 1 in the top of the 5th, had a 3-0 lead. Tremendous outing so far by Sam Landry, but the Bandits, I mean, it's just so hard to keep their offense at bay. #1 in the league in runs, batting average, home runs. So many impressive stats, and they finally broke through a moment ago.
Just has to feel so defeating for the Volts. So,
yeah.
Let's be honest, like a 6-14 record and down toward the bottom of the league with the Blaze winning today, who were in 4th place in the league standings. Like, the Volts are fighting with the Blaze to not be the team that finishes last. Games are running out here. So the Volts, who, you know, can't find a spot in the championship in Tuscaloosa, now are fighting just to be the team that doesn't finish last in this inaugural season.
They do have the 2nd best ERA in the league, but they will certainly need some more offense tonight. Sis Bates, meanwhile, thought she could take first base. The home plate umpire, Scott Mayer, disagreed, much to the dismay of more than 6,500 on hand. Definitely a pro-Volts crowd here tonight.
Yeah, it is. I think that the Volts in general are maybe the fan favorite for a larger percentage of fans.
One drops foul.
And especially when you have Sam Landry on the team and Mia Scott, who were a couple of favorites from the state of Texas.
Oh, and by the way, the general manager.
Yes, that too.
The Hall of Famer, the Olympian, the one and only Kat Osterman in charge of the Volts. The team trying to rally. The full count offering on the way from Lexi Kilfoyle to Sis Bates. And making it look easy, Nickles-Ca had some decent ground to cover. Just like that, 2 away.
Yeah, I think with playing on a baseball field for these past 3 games, Alex, I don't think that, I think it just starts to flow. You stop noticing about the grass infield and what would be the dirt base path for a baseball game. Like, I just feel like everything has just been taken in stride with playing in this stadium, and even more room down the foul lines and more room behind the catcher. It is just a different feel than what you feel in a softball field. But my goodness, the sunsets look absolutely gorgeous here at this field all weekend.
And you know what? At this point of the night, by Texas standards, pretty cool evening.
Yeah.
When it's not in the hundreds in July,
it's a win.
You're a winner. Yeah, absolutely. And tonight, it just can't be beat. They will wrap up the series. Got one more chance to see these 2 teams here in this unreal setting tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central for the series finale here in Round Rock. About 30 minutes from downtown Austin. Rachel Garcia at the plate, singled in the 4th inning. It's down to their final 4 outs. Meanwhile, we've been talking about Sam Landry a lot. Lexi Kilfoyle has been tremendous coming out of the bullpen. Didn't get the start Taylor McMillan did, but Kilfoyle, 3 2/3 innings of relief, 0 earned runs, and just 1 walk.
I know that the Bandits like to pitch by committee, and we've seen them do that. Used 3 pitchers in game 1 and used 4 pitchers in game 2. But I think when you look at who they give the ball to the most, whether it be a start or in relief, it's Lexi Kilfoyle.
And she
can,
yeah, there you go.
Get outs, even though she's going up against the same offense, who has now seen her 3 games in a row.
That's her first strikeout of the night, but it's a big one to end things here in the top of the 6th inning with the Bandits up by 1. We're hitting the home stretch here in Round Rock.
The Bandits scored 4 runs to take the lead in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's in large part to the adjustments made by their lefties. M Zerkle with that low and in pitch, the sacrifice fly RBI. Skylar Wallace fighting off that same pitch, and then also look at the pitch location for Danielle Gibson Whorton. not pretty or necessarily the hardest hits off the bat by Wallace and Gibson Whorton, but it's the adjustments. Third time through against Sam Landry that led to the 4 runs, and it was that pitch down and into the lefties that worked so well for her the first and second time through. But it's that 4-run inning that she gave up in the bottom of the 5th that will now knock her out of the game, and Rachel Garcia will come in.
That's right. As we begin the bottom of the 6th inning, Garcia takes over in the circle for Landry. Rachel Garcia, team leader in wins. First-round pick in the inaugural draft here, but again, you can't help but go back to Landry and just a tough luck outing, gutsy performance.
She, in my opinion, pitched the best that she has pitched in her rookie season, so had some bad luck by some good ABs by the Bandits that just battled against her.
Meanwhile, the Bandits looking for an insurance run or two. Leadoff hitter reaches McKinney with her first hit of the night.
And now has a hit in all 3 games of the series. Been a hit machine, that Sydney McKinney. My goodness, the year that she is having.
This offense breaking through now since the beginning of the 5th inning. 5 hits during that stretch. In the first 4 innings, the Bandits had been held to 1 hit total, and even that was just a single. Delaney Wisz tied up.
How about the fact, Alex, that we have a crowd of 6,500 fans here, and this has been probably the best game that we've had. Game 1 was really good. It was back and forth, but it was a little bit long. There was even more offense. This has been a little pitcher's duel at times, some offense at times. Had a really good mix of everything.
Certainly been highly entertaining, back and forth contest, great atmosphere. Delaney Wisz had a nice night at the plate as well, single and a walk. One on the way from Garcia.
Delaney Wisz has actually seen the ball well out of the hand of Rachel Garcia this season. She's 3 for 6 against her with 4 walks and 2 RBIs.
Wisz been very patient, 12 walks in 20 games. Ahead in the count here, 2-1. Evened up.
That's a great pitch. Rachel Garcia bringing in that curveball, a much needed strike that she needed in that hitter's count. Followed that pitch in all the way with her release to the outside corner to get right back into this count.
McKinney over at first. The 2-2 to Wisz. Did not go around. Appeal over to first. Smokey Ed says no go. Certainly a big moment in this game. Delaney Wisz walked and hit by a pitch last night. 2 Women's College World Series appearances during her time with UCLA. All-American. Locked into battle right now with fellow former Bruin Garcia.
Knowing each other well, just go back, seen each other a lot.
Who has the advantage there with that familiarity, the hitter or the pitcher?
I would think that the hitter has the advantage because you've seen so many looks off of a pitcher, but Garcia also just has so many different tools in her toolbox, a lot of different looks.
Does not get the call. First 2 batters reach. Fans not happy with the Bandits back in business.
Now the 5th walk that Delaney Wisz has against Rachel Garcia this season does not get the call. It's hard to tell with the angle that we have our center field camera at if that actually clipped the edge, because it is a little bit off-centered, right? Like it's not directly behind home plate, but these fans, they are Volts fans, and I do not think that they are happy that they are down, and there's been some close calls not go their way.
Well, listen, you have a Volts offense that averages just over 3 runs per game. They cannot afford to give up another run here in this inning and fall behind by 2 or more.
Bandits at bottom of the order just getting on base again.
A single by McKinney, a walk by Wisz, and here comes Jordan Roberts. She was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Walked a couple of times this series as well. Drops down the bunt. Garcia, hesitated a moment. 2 lead runners are safe and now in scoring position with 1 away. Thought about trying to get McKinney, but realized it probably would not result in an out. So 2 on, 1 away for Bella Dayton. Dayton singled in the 5th inning. We mentioned the crowd being certainly pro Volts, but this is maybe one of the few Bandits they have certainly been rooting for tonight.
You'll see the Bandits go up and swing early like Bella Dayton just did, just to try to avoid hitting with 2 strikes against Rachel Garcia. She has been so good with 2 strikes this season. A 130 batting average against her when she gets 2 strikes.
One and 1 to Dayton. Dayton's just been a winner everywhere she's gone. We talked about the Bandits team she's a part of this year, already locking up a spot in the championship next weekend. When she was with Texas, when she was in the lineup, the Longhorns won 85% of their games. Without her, that number was at about 60. A huge part of their success. Sends one right into the glove of the new first baseman. Edenfield, 2 away.
I feel like that nugget that you just dropped needs to be on Bella Dayton's resume. Never looking at going out to get a job. Like, hey, this is what happened when I was at
I'm a winner.
Softball.
Hire me.
I'm a winner. I know how to do this. When you don't have me, we don't win as much.
The Volts able to retire her there. So now 2 away, still 2 in scoring position. And the always dangerous Morgan Zerkle due up. Zerkle just missed out on a grand slam in the 5th inning. Still managed to drive in a run on a deep sac fly to left center.
Morgan Zerkle is 3 for 10 against Rachel Garcia this season with a home run. The only home run given up with 2 strikes against Rachel Garcia was off the bat of Morgan Zerkle.
Zerkle with a souvenir. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Volts coming up in the 7th.
And Rachel Garcia I just really wanted to get this stat in because it's a good one. Rachel Garcia's only given up 2 home runs all season, and 1 of them was to Morgan Zerkle.
And Garcia calls time right here. Zerkle has homered in 2 straight games. But now behind 1 and 2.
All right, here we go. Something's got to give. Morgan Zerkle has one of the 2 home runs that Rachel Garcia has given up this season, and 1 of them was with 2 strikes. Again, opponents hitting 130 off of her with 2 strikes.
Let's see if that number stands up here.
And that's a pitch that why she has been so tough with 2 strikes is that drop ball that she'll throw as an off-speed pitch. Gotten a ton of swings and misses on that pitch and a ton of chases on it.
McKinney at 3rd, Wisz at 2nd. 2-2 to Zerkle. Sent to center field. Briggs makes the grab. Another deep fly out to left center off the bat of Zerkle. Here we go. Last 3 potentially for the Volts. 8, 9, and 1, including Lorenz in the 7th. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is sponsored by Rebel Girls. What an atmosphere tonight. Nobody has left the building, and for good reason. A 1-run game as we hit the 7th inning. The Volts down to their last 3 outs. in front of more than 6,500 fans tonight in Texas. It'll be a batter who can change the game with one swing, due up, and she did it earlier tonight. Deja Mulipola. She launched a 2-run homer in the second inning, Amanda, and she will lead things off here in the 7th.
And she's been getting hot as of late, too, just kind of coming on strong. Here as the season is winding down.
Facing Lexi Kilfoyle back out for the 7th. She closed out last night's win, trying to do the same here in game number 3. And Kilfoyle, 0 earned runs, just 1 walk in 4 innings of relief.
This is the 3rd game in a row that the Volts have seen her too, and a lot more this season. Is just 4 teams in the league. They see each other a lot, and Kilfoyle still finds ways to get outs.
Mulipola hit in 4 straight games, including a couple of home runs. Has certainly been hot and patient in potentially her final at bat of the night. Volts with 3 runs off 6 hits. The Bandits 4 off 6. And a 2-2 count.
And believe it or not, even though that pitch was a little bit higher in the zone, that's a drop ball that Lexi Kilfoyle would throw. So she can throw that drop ball on multiple different planes, and oftentimes when it is more up like that, it freezes a hitter because they're expecting it to be a little bit more down.
Mulipola fights off the 2-2. Lexi Kilfoyle, what a season so far. Top 3 in the league in ERA and innings pitched. And they're looking to go 5-1 on the season. And we go full. You could sense the excitement earlier in the stadium, and now the anxiety of the fans. They said they've been rooting for the Volts. You can sense it's a tense moment here at Dell Diamond. That one pulled foul.
Well, not many people have left because it's been such a good game. You want to be able to see it until the end because 1-run game, 7th inning. Don't know who's going to win this one.
And the bottom of the order has come up big tonight for the Volts. Garcia, Mulipola, and Scott in the 7, 8, 9 spots, coming up with hits. Mulipola trying to do it again. Instead, there is a huge strikeout by Kilfoyle.
Just completely fooled her with this curveball that Kilfoyle has really developed as a 3rd speed. Getting Mulipola to swing and miss that. A huge strikeout for Kilfoyle after a great at-bat by Deja Mulipola.
And now a pitching change with 1 out here in the 7th. It'll be Taylor McMillan coming back in the circle. She started the game, gave up the home run in the second inning to Mulipola, so they made sure she didn't face her again, and now she's back in the game.
Look at Stacey Newman-Denise, the head coach and pitching coach, is continuing to make these moves. Savannah Collins was talking about the pitching strategy that the Bandits have, and here's another example of just trying to mix things up, bringing the starter back into the game to close the game. Taylor McMillan leads the team with 2 saves already on the season. Very comfortable in this position. They use her at the end of games a lot. Through 2 innings in her start, gave up 3 hits and 2 earned runs. No walks or strikeouts.
Last night, coming out of the bullpen, no runs, no walks, and 2 2/3 to help take down the Volts. She will be facing Mia Scott with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Scott, who singled in the 5th, having a nice first season of professional softball here with the Volts. Earned a couple of walks, scored a run last night. She has reached now in 10 of her last 11 games. In a huge spot right now. The fans are out for Mia Scott, the reigning national champion.
And you have 3 left-handed hitters coming up in a row with 4 if Coffey hits. So Scott, Lorenz, Briggs, and Coffey if she gets up.
You could hear that round of applause from the thousands here for Mia Scott. And by the way, her impressive numbers at this level and the collegiate level this year, all while playing with a torn ACL. Sends one to left center. Nickles-Ca on the run, makes the grab, and the Volts are down to their final out of the night. The cell phones were out.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to be a big one off the bat of Scott.
The good barrel. She got a lot of it, just did not get enough of it. Great read off the bat by Bubba Nickles-Ca, who read that well off of the lefty swing, knew it would continue to move toward left center field, stayed on it. The fans disappointed that Mia Scott got out.
It'll be up to Amanda Lorenz to keep the night going for the Volts, while the Bandits trying to close out another win against the Volts. They took the first 2 games of this series. Looking to do the same here in game number 3. Lorenz 0 for 3, couple of ground outs. 5 home runs on the year for the former 4-time All-American, the Florida Gators.
Got to continue to mix things. I mean, Amanda Lorenz has been swinging the bat well, and it just seems like when she's making contact, the ball is leaving the yard right now. Going hitless in Seattle last weekend.
Sends one to right field. Dayton is there, and this one is in the books. The Bandits come from behind after trailing 3-0 and take down the Volts 4-3 here in Texas.
And that was a great team win by the Bandits. And get this, the Bandits were 1-7 when trailing after 4 coming into this game tonight. Their last and only win was against the Blaze on June 22nd. Chalk it up as another come-from-behind win. They've been few and far between, but the Bandits get it done here with the 4-run inning for another 1-run win in this series against the Volts.
And listen, even when this Bandits offense, #1 in the league, isn't putting up huge numbers, they still find a way to get it done and end up in the win column.
Impressive win. How about the pitching strategy, too? Bringing the starter back into the game to close it and get the dub.
That'll do it for game number 3. The series finale will take place tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, here in Round Rock from the Dell Diamond. Be fascinating to see if we can have another huge crowd for the last one between the Bandits and the Volts. For Amanda Scarborough, I'm Alex Sloan. We will see you tomorrow.